everybody. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Savi Gutierrez.
I'm Digna Caruso.
And we are The Social Soda. And thank you for tuning in, episode 24. Can you believe that? Episode 24
episodes.
Wow. And we're super, super excited because we have two amazing guests today. We have Jessica Bedore, founder and president of Britmoore Rescue, and Shawn Bourdeaux. Bourdeaux, did I pronounce that correctly?
Yeah.
Bourdeaux. From the Cajun Navy Relief. We are so excited.
I know.
All week we've been talking about this because we're super excited.
Well, Jessica
welcome.
Bedore is also Miss Texas USA. Yes.
Texas United.
Yeah, Miss Texas United America. Yeah. And we actually go to nationals in June. Oh, Jesus. I have that too coming up. I got to go to nationals in June to compete for Mrs. United America. So we're excited.
She's not only beautiful, but from the outside, but from the inside. And she does so much for the community. So you definitely are very deserving of the crown. You represent it very well.
Thank you. Oh, don't cry. Don't cry. No tears.
I remember when we first met you at actually the Reproduction last year.
Yes.
We had like a little like a starstruck moment.
Yeah, I know I did. And you know what your topic was that day? You actually told us about this event.
Did I really tell you about the
first
Birdies
time?
for
Yes,
boats?
yes, you did.
That's so funny.
Yeah, that's
well, because we've been planning this. We started planning this back in September of last year.
Wow.
Like literally as soon as, because we did come heels or high water last year, and that turned out so successful. But right afterwards, we met here, actually right here sitting at this spot is where we laid down the first thoughts for Birdies for Boats.
Wow.
So guys, let me just explain to you what Birdies for Boats is. This is a charity event. It's a golf tournament, and it's benefiting the Britmoore Rescue and Cajun Navy, right?
Yes.
So all the funds that you raise at this event will go to the nonprofit organizations, Britmoore Rescue, and with the Cajun Navy, right? You rebuild homes of people that have been affected with natural disasters.
And we are also looking to expand, do more training, to have more equipment so that we can better prepare for response coming up. Hurricane season's just around the corner.
Well, how many volunteers do y'all have? Because I know when Britmoore Rescue was founded, you said in the wee hours of the night because people needed to get rescued. So it was just you and your husband, which is one of the sponsors for the event, Tubular Solutions.
Tubular Solutions and Deepwater Solutions.
So it was just you two, and then you just got people together and you started organizing, I guess, rescue teams. And
I started with these guys. Actually, I did.
Let's go back to that because Cajun Navy came around Katrina time, right?
Correct. So the first real use that we know that's common was during Hurricane Katrina. That's when people from Acadiana, Cajuns, get your boats, let's go. How long? Let's go see what we can do to help. And it was a very, very hard time.
Yeah.
You can imagine the situation in Katrina was dismal, but they did what they could to help, and it made a huge difference. The name was never really used after that for anything to file or to make a business or a nonprofit. It was just, Cajuns were doing what Cajuns were doing.
Yeah.
So the first time to actually make it legit or to file for a nonprofit status was in 2016. We had another round of flooding in Denham Springs. Livingston Parish was pretty much the epicenter of that. And it was devastating. Nobody knew what was coming. It wasn't a named storm. It didn't get recognition, and people needed help badly. So we answered the call. It started on Facebook, on social media, and it's grown from there.
Well, I mean, speaking of social media too, I was watching your videos, and I mean, I think that part of what you're planning and executing came from a game. Is that true? From a video game.
Yeah, so you get the nerd stuff. You get some nerd stuff on me.
I was like, I feel like I know.
We watched the video. I actually watched it again this morning. I was like, and you're like in the pickup truck, and I was like, look at that.
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about that.
So, all right, so here you gotta put on your nerd hats.
Okay.
Right? You gotta get ready for this.
First, what was the game?
I'll start with something that people may have heard of.
Okay.
Geocaching. All right. So in geocaching, you're gonna have some point of interest in the world that you want to go and interact with. So imagine geocaching meets capture the flag, right? So there's a green team and there's a blue team, and they compete against each other to capture these points of interest. That game is called Ingress. And I have been playing that for at least a couple of years. And from my aspect, I like to get in my boat and go find old forts. There's forts in the swamps outside of Louisiana that are literally sinking in the marsh.
So I guess like when people can relate to that.
I want to do that.
I know it sounds sounds so cool. So guys, so for those of you out there that are not necessarily, you know, in the swamps, this is gonna kind of equivalent to Pokemon Go. So
Correct.
okay.
That's going off of the game. Like all the points of interest we put in when we were building the game as a community became Pokemon Go, and they made millions or billions. But
there you go.
we still had fun putting it together.
I don't know about other people, but when I think of the Cajun Navy, I think cool, badass. Like they're getting things done, you know?
Yeah.
Well,
that is an important part. I mean, Cajuns are going to do that aspect. They're going to get out there and get the job done.
Yeah.
One of the only deficit, I guess, where I saw a good fit was learning to communicate with people in the field, real time, and having GPS trackers to know where people are, so you know who's being accounted for. That was one of the risks that you have. It's very hard to drive a boat and to do Facebook Messenger at the same time. Not happening.
But the technology has helped us out so much in the last years. Like a lot of people just think we're rednecks and boats out there, as you put it, just like chasing people around. But they don't realize actually the technology that we use. We have fully customized CAD systems that we run into our computers.
That's what I wanted to comment on.
Blimps,
because Shawn said that your system, it's as I guess modern or as like FEMA with rescue teams.
So as far as trainings are concerned, we are looking towards those standards. We're not trying to be FEMA, but we need to at least speak the same language.
Yes.
And so it's a matter of an appreciation of what the standards are, so that we can have a common operating picture. But the equipment and the software and everything that goes in between the two is very individual per organization. So with Cajun Navy Relief, we all have, I think, most everyone out of there started with Zello and Glimpse. And again, that's the stuff I brought from the other.
For us that don't know that, what is that? Explain that to us.
Zello, push to talk, walkie-talkie.
Okay. Turns your phone into a walkie-talkie.
It's free.
Okay.
Right, that's the most important thing.
And that's an app that's downloaded onto the phone. So if you guys don't know that and you're in a sticky situation, you need to speak to somebody. Does that require like a Wi-Fi or
It can work on Wi-Fi or cellular.
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So you have two options there.
Okay.
Right.
That offers a little bit more resilience. So if you do have cellular connectivity problems, but you can provide your own satellite uplink or your own Wi-Fi bubble, you can still operate. So, I mean, it allows us to kind of work around cell towers if need be. And again, it's free. That's a keyword right there. So it's nothing proprietary about that. You just go download it.
And I'm sorry not to veer off, but it's like, how reliable is it, especially when you're in the midst of everything and cell towers are down and whatnot?
It has been good with most of the comms that we needed. We had issue in Lumberton during Hurricane Florence because of the topography. If you don't have good line of sight to a tower, there were issues. So then you now work on solutions to that problem.
Yeah.
And you build resilience to those issues.
Yeah.
But you also had others, like there's the other application we use is Blimp. So that's the GPS tracking system that we use. It's also free, available on your app.
So make notes, just in case, because you did mention hurricane season is upon us. So make notes to download those applications. You never know. It's better to be safe than sorry.
Absolutely. And it's also useful just amongst friends and family.
Yes.
My family, we have our own glimpse tag.
Yes,
when somebody hits a road, we share the glimpse tag. So like my sister and I met this morning on the road. She's coming from College Station. I'm coming from Lafayette. Like meet in the middle somewhere.
So do you reside in Louisiana?
I have been in Louisiana for the past 10 years. New Orleans for the past 10 years. Just moved to Houston for like 6 months recently. And I'm actually going to be staying in College Station for just a bit.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask you, because you said that you were in Livingston, and also I was reading that you were out in North Carolina when the hurricane hit over there, Hurricane Florence. So how far do y'all go out to help people that are
countrywide? We usually cover the full southern 7. That's the usual extent. You want to cover your southern 7 states because that's usually the ones that are impacted most until East Coast. But we're nationwide, and actually, you can't even say that we're nationwide because technically we have volunteers. We actually have volunteers that reside in Australia and England, so we're actually
you're global.
Global,
Dispatching, we're global. As far as our actual outreach for search and rescue, it's really within the country right now. I mean, I know we are right now. I mean, Puerto Rico would be a stretch for us, but like
for our organization, we're very similar in that, we have people who are all over the place, really internationally. But we will insist that we have leadership on site to deploy. So if we're going to go to an area and we're going to start working for a disaster, we need to have somebody to represent our organization who knows our core values and understands how we train to be on site. So that is a restriction for us just jumping in. But we get momentum. Once people start filing in and it starts growing, we rely on spontaneous volunteers to become a force multiplier. When you find people joining in, like my company's not putting me to work, but I've got Swiftwater certs. Can I come work with you? Sure. We don't pay. but you're welcome to come.
Yeah.
It's volunteer only. Nobody gets paid.
Now, are there certain requirements that you look for in your volunteers, or
This is where you start talking about FEMA and what FEMA does and other organizations. They have minimum requirements for anybody to even walk on site. For us, we have a leadership structure that's meant to utilize leadership who are trained to interface with people who may not know as much, but you have direct eyes on them. You stay within a span of control, and you coach them along the way so that they stay safe.
So
and
you
utilize whatever they have.
you would say the only requirement you have is the will to help.
Yeah, and a flat bottom boat helps. Surface drive. I mean, I can start listing other criteria.
Yeah, because I mean, everybody that comes on board, I mean, everything that you use is pretty much items that you own yourself,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
Yeah,
and
we're
that's the nature of it.
100% volunteer. I mean, none of these guys, nobody that works, and we actually like to call ourselves the 90% organizations because 90% of the time, the volunteers that you have are not actually going to be around. They're just going to come back whenever you have a disaster because they've got their own lives to lead. They've got stuff that they've got going on. So for the most part, in all actuality, you only have a handful of people that are actually running these organizations full-time year-round. And then when the disaster strikes, it's a whole nother story because I can go from 2 volunteers to 250 like that, like as soon as disaster hits. So, and that's when you have to, like, we have a vetting process. Like you have to, like, we have to have copies of your license. We have to have information regarding an emergency contact. We have to have that before we even allow you to travel underneath our name.
Similar, and that's one of the things that we do also include, similar numbers, but like the scope of what I was going through in Houston.
Yeah.
We had 30 some odd members after 2016, maybe 50 members that were considered like still working at it every day. But when Hurricane Harvey hit, I'm in the parking lot at the Lake Charles Civic Center, and our numbers went up by thousands.
Wow.
I literally went from 30 something to a couple thousand.
Yeah.
It's 72 hours.
Yeah.
The process of onboarding is very complex.
Yes.
Because you want to get as many people as possible. The barrier to entry should be low, as long as they are qualified and old enough, mature enough. I don't want to bring young children, but also don't want to bring people who have a recidivism or criminal backgrounds or things that would be putting the victims at risk.
Yes.
So we do have to look into backgrounds, and for us, it's as simple as a Google search. We have it on our waiver. If you sign our waiver, you can send it to us a Google search.
It's crazy how the internet can tell you everything in seconds.
Everything.
Yeah.
But I understand that the importance because you're taking strangers into other people's homes, so you definitely have to be very cautious.
Yeah.
There's so many. I mean, you're taking people into other people's homes. You're literally putting there's people's lives in the lives of other people that you don't really know. So it's good to get those backgrounds. But you're also wanting to watch out for the safety of the people. We have had issues. We have had issues before where someone got in a boat that should not have been in a boat. Someone tried to rescue that should not have been rescuing. And all you do is say, hey, bud, I can use you over in donations. Like, I can use you over here.
Right over here.
Yeah, can you help? Yeah, absolutely. Like, I can use you here. I can better utilize you here than right here.
Without hurting their feelings. You're like, you are the master at passing water bottles. That's your responsibility.
All the volunteers, absolutely.
Yeah.
Not just the search and rescue, but I mean, during Harvey, we had a ton of volunteers in the back because we had so many donations being brought in because we set up as a drop-off point for donations. We ended up running 23 truckloads of donations across Houston within 3 days, and we didn't have trucks. These were people coming to actually pick this stuff up and run it all over the city.
Wow.
So even if you don't have a flat bottom surface drive boat,
If you have a
you go to the caveats. There's still use for people on all fronts. Everything from administrative oversight and web design, social media, dealing with logistics for shipping and receiving. There's a lot of stuff going into all this.
When you hear Cajun Navy, you think about these like cowboys and just like country people and stuff like that. And it's like, but it's like you guys are like super sophisticated.
Well, no, let's say some of it. You know
what I mean when it comes to the organization side of it.
See, I qualify as Cajun because my last name is Bourdeaux and my grandmother's name is a Thibodeau, right? So when you got a Bourdeaux and a Thibodeau, but otherwise, I mean, a lot of these guys are just good old boys who are out there doing a day-to-day job that put that down when disaster comes and they step up. So it is a good old boy cowboy type thing.
But they have
just enough tech on top so that you don't overwhelm them and they stay with it.
But they have great skills because a lot of them have been fishing, hunting, riding boats, driving boats.
And that's what you have to understand is also people, as soon as a disaster hits, they just want to go grab their boat and they want to go jump in the water. But what you need to realize is though you may be educated enough to handle a boat. Handling a boat when you're out fishing or cruising the lake versus handling a boat during deep water, so or not deep water, but swift water, or you've got currents that are coming in like crazy. you're going through terrain that's not usually flooded. You know, you're pulling extra weight into your boats
Yeah.
with like it's a whole lot different than just taking a boat and cruising. You know,
So
Lake Livingston.
you actually put
cruising
yourself
through.
in danger.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and so if you don't know what you're getting into, I mean, it could be really a risk.
It's
So
not just the boats; it's
Yeah.
down power lines.
Mhm.
It's, I mean, these guys
Yeah.
floating anthills. That's a real thing. I
Oh
mean,
my
these
gosh.
guys have to really be careful when you're out there and really, really,
Ants are
really.
vicious.
And we have, I mean, we are so. As soon as a boater comes on, they get a list of procedures and things that they need to do to make sure that they're safe while they're on that boat, because anything can happen out there.
I remember a post, or I don't know if it was a post on Facebook or what it was, but it was like a video of the Cajun Navy, and everybody's like, "Yay, the Cajun Navy's coming! They're gonna get it done. They're gonna come get these people." So people have a lot of faith in what you do.
Absolutely.
And
the
they
state put a lot of faith in us. And that was just
Mhm.
amazing.
Yeah.
It really was.
Yeah.
I went to a meeting in Tennessee with FEMA Region 4. There's an opportunity to meet and greet where you have some volunteer organizations interacting with state and federal authorities. And I think it was the directors of most of TEMA, that's
Mhm.
Tennessee Emergency Management. We had Florida, we had Mississippi, Alabama, a bunch of them in FEMA Region 4. And Tennessee Pullman decided and said, you know, our annual training requires us to go to disasters throughout the U.S. We missed our training because Texas told us the Cajun Navy had it taken care of. So how do we work on something here so we can start figuring out that we don't miss out on critical training that we need for our people whenever disaster strikes?
Yeah.
Because we flooded them with volunteers. It's a
Oh.
brute force attempt at rescue.
Yeah.
So it's not as elegant as it could be, and that's the things that we're working on, making it more efficient, less redundant, but not redundant in a bad way. Less of same people at the same location at the same time,
Sure.
the same rescue. That's a waste of resources.
Yeah, exactly.
So making your efforts more streamlined is a process.
So where does the training happen?
For that kind of stuff,
Mm-hmm.
that's where you start your relationships with emergency operations centers. As you start dialogue with the state and local EOCs, you're able to figure a common operating picture of where you are, where they want you to go, where you're going. I mean, we got to the point where we had 911 dispatching calls directly to us,
Wow.
which is great. So we know that they're handling, you know, somebody's having a heart attack. That's not for us. We don't want the 911. But somebody and their dog couldn't be picked up by National Guard because National Guard won't touch you and your pets. They'll leave your pet behind. And do you want to leave your pet behind? No. So they call us in for that.
Oh no, we love our animals.
I was like, I just got goosebumps.
I know she looked at me and I was
Yes.
like,
So that's perfect.
I'm gonna cry.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to do that to you, but that's perfect for us. That's a situation
We
where
do a lot of animal rescue.
yeah, because
Yeah,
we
so you
love
do a
our
lot of
pets.
animal rescues.
It's like if we can't have our pets with us, then that's not gonna happen.
Matter
So,
of fact,
but-
the last like 2 days of Harvey, we did more animal rescues.
Oh, yeah.
than we did people
It really goes that
rescues.
way.
Yeah.
people may have to leave an animal behind, and they're like, "Can somebody just go see if he still has room to breathe at the top of the kennel? You know, like he
Yeah.
might be up to his neck in water." That was one of my first rescues, was
That's
to go
right.
check on a pet. You know,
Oh my
and
gosh.
people don't like leaving their animals behind, but if it's life or death, you have to make a choice.
Mhm.
We try to give an alternative, saying, "Look, we take you and your pets. Come on, you know, whatever needs to happen." That way, they're not stuck having to make very tough decisions. But I want to make it clear: if you need to evacuate and you have the opportunity to evacuate, do so. Don't wait.
Yeah.
Whenever the opportunity
Yes.
arises, take
Exactly.
it. But for those who may fall through the cracks, or who might need help that the state would not provide or not be able to
Mhm.
because they can't handle that many animals, that's kind of where we come in. We augment that
Gotcha.
process.
Now, also with the training, I know that you had your games. What were they called
It's a
again?
fine line. So we don't want to call it games, except for the fact that we want to entice people
Exactly.
to have a good time and be willing to learn.
Yeah.
But it was technical rescue.
So what is it? What is it called exactly?
Sorry.
Search and rescue games.
SAR
games. Yeah. So it was our second annual SAR games. The first one was a free-for-all in the Chaffalay Basin. We got Latin long, and we tied flags to a tree.
Okay.
And like, so you go out there and it looks like a Christmas tree with all these flags hanging off of it. Each of them was tagged and labeled, and we knew which ones were where. And we dispatched boaters to go pull a boatload of flags. Arbitrary number. We said 4. 4 flags per boatload. There we go.
Wow.
Some can handle more, some can handle less, but that's not the point. We had to put some constraints on the game to make it a game, right? When it's every man versus every other man, the guy with the fastest boat wins. So this year we changed it up. We made divisions, which is a subunit of incident command. Each division or geographical region was competing against the next. So there we still have a competitive element amongst divisions, but cooperation within the team. And that way we're able to train
love
people.
That.
I don't want to veer off of what you're saying, but what is your profession you do for a living? Because you seem very organized and you just like put everything so well together. It just honestly, I'm amazed. I'm listening to him, and I
Mm.
don't know if some people have the capacity to put everything you're putting together like so easily. It sounds easy.
Get ready for it. For the past 7.5 years, I've been a bartender in New Orleans.
You're kidding?
No, I'm serious. Prior to that, I was
Yeah.
I'm an egghead, though. I did spend a lot of time in school. I got an undergrad in biology, and I was getting a PhD in cognitive neuroscience. So I have a lot of interest in the mind and the brain and the biology of that and all that. But I also am curious about learning and training and some of the other aspects of
It's just
cognition.
that your skills are amazing. How to put teams
Martinis?
together.
Yes. Margaritas, yes.
Martinis are my favorite.
Uh-huh.
But I'm just honest. I'm very impressed. I'm listening to you, and I'm just like, my mind is blown. Honestly, I'm like, whew.
But you can choose to learn something new that you may not be familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever, like in disaster response,
Yes.
we all have to push our boundaries and learn to be better people, better human beings. And in that process, you pick up new skills, you know.
Wow.
But the events management and the banquet industry that I've been in New Orleans is essentially constant disaster. We did not have the word no in our vocabulary. So when a client comes in and they're paying $150,000 for a party and you don't have what they want, you don't say no. You
go
find
it.
solutions.
Go find it.
And you've got
Find
no
it.
time to get that done.
Go figure it out.
Oh
So-
my gosh.
You're always on the edge, on the cusp of having to deal with something that's urgent, and it's kind of a state of mind. How do you process that info?
You're a
and how do
problem
you-
solver.
In a way, yes.
And really and truly, that's what operations is. It's finding a solution to a problem.
Yeah.
And that's the whole basis of where something like this happens. The heart of it is in the operation of the organization. If your organization is not operating, you're just gonna have a bunch of people in boats.
Yeah.
Like you're just gonna have a bunch of people in boats, and you're probably gonna end up having to save a few of them too.
Yeah.
So that's
So-
where I'll tell y'all in the search and rescue industry, the word cowboy is, or rogue.
A
Those
rogue.
kind of words are not
Not
appreciated
good.
by
No.
professional first responders
Well, it's good
because
to know.
that means these
Yeah.
are people who are not following orders.
Mm.
They're just going off on their own.
Well, it's
and
like
they're
when they say he's gone rogue, that means he's gone off and
Correct.
he's doing something
Correct.
that's not supposed to be.
Or just, not checking in with anybody. And whenever somebody goes rogue, then you can't account for that individual. You lose accountability.
Right.
You don't know what they're on the, getting into.
Mhm.
So it just becomes a
There's just
liability.
a difference. Like, the organizations themselves kind of started out as, we're just kind of rebel. We were
Yeah.
rogues ourselves. We jumped in because we saw an issue that needed to be fixed, and we fixed it. But when we're talking about cowboys and rogues up here, we're talking about someone that's with these organizations that we're doing these good deeds for. And then you may have somebody just veer off that isn't exactly keeping to those rules, and
That
then they
he
cause
thinks
issues.
he's got this, and
then,
he's going to
yeah.
go off and do his own
And then
thing.
before you know it, you have a whole new problem that you're tracing because one person
Yeah.
just couldn't.
So I'm going
know.
to throw something out there just for y'all who want to be eggheads. Look up the Dunning-Kruger effect.
Okay.
And this shows your level of confidence versus the amount of experience you have.
Oh,
And you'd be amazed
okay.
at how much confidence you have when you know absolutely nothing.
Nothing.
It's scary.
I believe that. I definitely
Yes.
believe that.
So,
Is that
Production
what
over
they
here
say?
loves it too.
Is that why they say ignorance is bliss? So if you don't know something, you're just gonna go
Yeah.
yeah.
and they're like, okay, well,
That's right.
There's also, when you give, this is a social behavior, or if you're looking at hive intelligence, if you give an object a certain amount of parameters and say, you work within these parameters, go do good, and let it go, you end up with things like an ant pile. Those guys don't have to communicate that much to make a monstrous structure. It happens naturally to them.
teamwork.
They work within their parameters. They're autonomous. They're quick to make decisions. They get things done. And we can operate in a similar way where it doesn't take so many layers of oversight to get a message from here down to there.
Mm.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that helps us to be very nimble, is that we're operating more along those lines, as opposed to the more bureaucracy is not the better. Not
We
always.
need efficiency.
Correct. And it's a balance, but we've learned a lot, on how we get that done.
And y'all started this 2017.
I was just
So
gonna-
how is the work relationship between y'all?
Good. I like that.
Yeah, so the thing was I kind of started. So our mutual friend Tasha, she was actually the one that called in the SOS for the Cajun Navy Relief back when Harvey hit. And I saw this SOS. I didn't know who the heck the Cajun Navy Relief was. Like, I was like, what is she doing? What's up her, But then I figured out what they were doing, and I started dispatching with them. Well, the next morning we woke up to like 11,000 missed calls or something,
Wow.
literally
Put your
crazy
phone number
number
out
like
there.
that.
Did you put your? Oh no.
Tosh and I both did, and our phones were just literally starting to shut down. Like, it was really bad. That's actually how Britmoore came along, because I was like, oh, we need help. So I went over to my husband's company. We started getting other people to come dispatch.
Mhm.
our personal Facebook started crashing because people were putting so much information on it. So we literally created a Facebook page. We knew we had to call it something rescue. And my vice president, well, she's my vice president now, Ashley, she said, what are we going to call it? And I was like, we were on Britmoore Road. And I was like, I don't know, just call it Britmoore Rescue. That is literally how we started. That is how we started. We ended up with like 24 dispatchers in that conference room. We were running donations. We were running the boats. We were doing all that. And we really didn't start working with the Cajun Navy Relief until after Come Heels or High Water, when we all really got a chance to really meet each other. And our relationships we're super close. Like, I mean, I have full trust in their organization the same way they have full trust in our organization. Not out to better, like, yeah.
If they're out there somewhere and they're like, hey, we're on this side of town, are you guys on that side of town?
Yeah.
Yeah, we are. So, hey, can we do something XYZ?
Yeah, can I borrow a boat?
Yeah.
Like that's that kind of relationship.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because we're trying to do the same thing. Like, we're trying to get the same people out of the same waters. We're trying to rebuild the same homes in the same community. We're trying to do all of this. Why not just work together? Like, there's no, what do you call it?
I mean, it
matches.
looks
like
like you guys.
We don't care. We just
You're
like
here to save
that.
lives.
Yeah.
And I've said it many times. There's nothing proprietary to helping your neighbor.
No.
Yeah.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Go help.
No.
You know, and that's for everybody.
And
That's
it is a beautiful thing. It's unfortunate under the circumstances, but how everybody comes together and helps one another.
I was
Disaster.
thinking that driving over here, I was like, it's sometimes you go through little phases in the climate of what is today in the world, and it's like you see a lot of hate, a lot of this, and I was like, and it's like it takes a disaster to bring us together.
A disaster. I will tell you that there was a news article that came out not too long ago. My lead search and rescue research, my lead research dispatcher. Jesus, oh my gosh.
You sound like
Cookie's
me. I
gonna
always
kill
get
me right now.
tongue-twisted.
Cookie's sitting on the other side, like, she can't even say my town. No, she reached out to me the other day. She sent me this news article, and it was said basically Florida, because Florida got hit bad.
Yeah.
You think Houston got hit bad with Harvey? There are parts of Florida that literally might go level. People don't even realize that.
Really?
It's just foundations left. That's it. You actually see pictures of houses moved. The entire house moved
that's
over
crazy. From the
half
slab?
a mile down from the slab.
Wow.
So, and their thing is, we feel like we've been forgotten. Well, I took this back and I started thinking about that, and I went back to Come Heels or High Water last year, and I had a gentleman walk up to me and he said, this is a great idea. We love Britmoore Rescue, but what are you going to do 10 years from now when everything's taken care of? And I was like, okay, that's where you're misinformed, because what you don't understand is that Katrina happened over 15 years ago, and they're still
It's
rebuilding.
been that long?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
They're
the
still
house
rebuilding.
next door to me, when I was living in New Orleans 9 months ago, had just gotten fixed for the first time
Yeah.
since Katrina.
Wow.
We have
Yeah.
homes in Houston that are gutted. And
Yeah.
people don't know it, but they're gutted. There's nobody in there.
Yeah, there's still homes on
Yeah.
MLS
This
that are
will take
completely,
us years to rebuild and finish.
Mhm.
Stacy Fleming, who I hope we bring her on for just a
Yes,
couple
we-
minutes.
yeah, we will.
But she's rebuilding homes right now. She's on home like 9, and it's taken 2.5 years. But this is never going to stop. And here's the deal: we might get 10 years from now, we might fix it all, and then Harvey 2.0 could come through, and we have to start all over again. These disasters and these hurricanes are
And
getting
you
harder.
said you're
and
on
more
home
often.
9. How many homes are on that list that need to be rebuilt?
Stacey, how many houses do you
Well,
have on
Stacey,
that
come
list?
on over
Stacey,
here.
Can you come over here?
You want a chair for
You know
her?
what? She can sit right here.
There you go.
I'll see that. I have heels.
Hi, Stacey.
Thank you for joining us
Welcome.
today.
So this is Stacy Fleming. She actually is the one that rebuilds the
Stand right
homes
here.
for us. She's the one that when we do events like this and we're buying materials, that's the houses she's rebuilding. That's where those materials go. So and you work with Yellow Boots.
Yes, I've been started off with Pastor's Army, and the group got really small. So I basically, as of August, went out there by myself. So
You
since
by yourself.
August, I've been working in the homes by myself. We just recently got Prairie Pelicans back. They were back for spring break, and now they're gone until the summer, but they'll be back with me this summer.
Oh my
So summer months, I have teams that are there to help, but during the rest of the year, when school's going on, because most of these teams are kids. I mean, literally kids.
Yeah.
And they come in these homes and they just, I coach them all the way. I'm right there with them. They've helped me put
Beautiful.
roofs on houses. I've roofed homes by myself. They've helped me hang sheetrock. They tape and flow. By the time they leave
That's so
here,
beautiful
Yeah,
because
it
you know
is.
what, kids need to learn how to work with their hands, and they just need that structure for them to actually not take things for granted. Because most kids in today's society, everything comes so easily to them. So for them to see this situation,
right, and to
Wow.
understand. I mean, my own children get out there and help me.
I mean, when I was growing up, my dad, all his little investment homes, it's like we spend summers like stripping cabinets and, you know, like fixing
When
sheetrock.
we're done,
So-
normally the walls are gone and you're down to studs. Literally studs.
She's down there tearing sheetrock. Like, people don't realize, like, I mean, you fell through the kitchen not too long ago.
Yeah.
Like,
Fell through a
on
kitchen
a
floor.
sink, like taking a sink, like she fell through the kitchen. I mean, she's down there tearing down sheetrock and cabinets.
But that home belonged to several elderly
Yes.
people living in this home. And it's like, you know, what do? You just fell through that floor. You can't leave it like this because you don't want them to get hurt. You know, I was lucky. I just come back up on my feet. One of them would have fell through it. They'd ended up with a broken hip.
they would have
or
been in the
something.
hospital.
Yeah.
So I went in and put new decking down on the floor, put new floors down, new cabinets in there. I mean, you just gut them and go. But
I want to ask you, what compels you to do that?
it started with my father's home. I rebuilt his home.
Mm-hmm.
And after I was done with his home, he asked me, what about the people that have nobody?
Mm.
He says, you know, I was so lucky I had you. What about the people that have nobody? And I said, well, I guess I just found my calling. So I went full blown into it. And my husband has backed me. My children, like all last summer, they were at the houses with us. Pastor's Army's there. Not Cajun, sorry, Cajun. Yellow Boots, they're out of New York, and they help supply me material. All I do is call them and say, hey, can you help with this? This is what's going on this house. This is what I need. I will go to Home Depot or Lowe's. I get the items together, call them while I'm there, and they pay for it over the phone.
Aww.
So Yellow Boots has been really awesome with helping us out. I have friends that, well, hey, it's not much, but here's a $50 gift card, or here's a $100 gift card to Home Depot or Lowe's. Another friend of mine, Tammy, I posted on Facebook, I needed cabinets for a home that we're currently working on, Miss Miles' home. And she had brand new cabinets that she bought from her home to redo her kitchen. And she seen the post and she called me and said, you know, I'm not in a hurry to redo my kitchen. Come get these cabinets.
Good.
So tomorrow I get to go pick up a ton of cabinets.
That's awesome.
That is so
I'm sorry.
awesome.
She told me that when she got here, and I was like,
That is so awesome.
These people just, they may not be able to help repair the homes physically, but there's so many other ways to help as far as donations and stuff. I've got neighbors that'll just hand me maybe a tube of caulking, but that caulking is amazing because it's something that is desperately needed in these homes.
And we've also been blessed dealing with a couple of companies, like we dealt with at Carpet World. Chris Dorian's cousin owns Carpet World out of is it Slidell? Slidell, yeah, Slidell, Louisiana. And
they brought us a bunch of flooring.
They bought us flooring. They like helped us out immensely. Like, it's just reaching out. If you actually just take the time to reach out to these companies, a lot of them are willing to help. A lot of them will help you, and even if they can't give it to you, okay, well, give it to me at my discount. You know, like cut me a discount that'll allow me to help out, because we're not making anything off this. Nobody's profiting.
Yeah.
This is literally just pouring back into the community.
Yeah, this gas, I put my own gas in my car.
Yeah.
When I started this, I had just under 60,000 miles on my car. I've got 130,000 miles.
Wow.
Yeah.
You put it
So, and I haul this stuff in my car. Yes, you should see it. I've had PVC running out of my sunroof. I've run 2x4s through my trunk. I've had toilets and sinks, big, huge boxes. My husband says it's not gonna fit. And I said, "You watch it." It's gonna
Never
fit.
underestimate a woman. They're so
Yeah,
well.
never underestimate.
I think women are guilty of doing stuff like that. We definitely
absolutely.
want to make stuff
Figure
fit
it
in our car.
Yeah.
Absolutely. It's like Tetris.
It is.
It's like Tetris.
So how can people reach out to you and get in touch with you if they want to help?
On Facebook, I'm also a Facebook friend of hers,
Okay.
so you can find me on there. You can find me on Pastor's Army's website.
Can you give us your handle so the audience can know
it's
that we're finding you?
The best way to honestly find me is through my Facebook name, which is Stacy Fleming, StacyFleming. But you got to put my phone number in there to be able to pull me up, and I don't know why, But you do, and it's
I'm gonna write
325
that down. 325
455 4114. But you got to do my name and my phone number together
Okay.
in the
Wow.
search, and then it'll pull up posts with me. I don't know why that is, but that's the only way any of the groups have been able to locate me. So yeah, I can't figure it out because I'm public on everything, so I don't know.
You're a blessing to many
Yes,
people.
exactly.
Yeah,
You
and
are.
it's worth it. It is so much worth it to be able to just to see the joy in their face when somebody comes because they think nobody's going to help them.
Yeah.
You know, and they're like at their wits' ends on what to do.
These
and
people are so thankful. They don't even know you. Like the other day, I went to drop off some ceiling fans to her, and the lady in the house was
that was Miss Butler.
Miss Butler. I mean, she just grabbed. She's like, "Come on, baby," and she just gave me a big old hug. I didn't know her, but she was so happy, and I was like, I'm just glad you got
Well,
some
you
ceiling
know, one of the
fans.
most valuable
But they're
things-
just so thankful because a lot of them feel like they've been forgotten.
Well, I believe that one of the most valuable things you can give someone is your time.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
It
Absolutely.
really is. And Miss Butler, she is so awesome. All the homeowners are. They get in there with me and they work with me.
We're at
Sorry,
the
guys.
golf course, so people are having a little party back there.
Miss Butler, she would when I was laying her floor, and I mean she can't help with a whole lot, but she tried her best to help with what she could, and she would just hand me one tile after another, sit down there on that floor and
They're
just to help.
thankful.
They are extremely,
They're thankful.
extremely thankful and grateful for everything. Miss Miles' home, Candace is in that house working with us side by side. She has learned how to do plumbing. She has learned how to gut. She's learned how to hang sheetrock. I mean, she's learned how to put siding up on her house.
Okay.
So she's side by side with us. And the homeowners.
I actually would think that's fun.
Yeah, I enjoyed it back in the day. I really enjoyed it. I know how to do
I
quite a
actually
bit.
became very good at taping and floating.
Did you?
It's very distressing. Like if you're focusing on doing that, it would just calm me down. I taped and float.
It is. It actually
Healing off
takes
process.
relaxing.
There were many times when I was like, look, I need to get a break. I need to get out here and go swing a sledgehammer. Go tear down some walls or go do something else besides.
Well, that has become a thing. It's kind of like the new thing where you get your girls and your guys together and you go break stuff. So
Yeah.
Oh, and Prairie Pelicans love that part of the house. They love
Yeah.
it. They get excited when I
Just
say
tear
we
it
have
all
one to tear
It's
apart.
demo day.
They love it.
let me ask you, summer is coming up. So are you foreseeing to have an increase in volunteers
Yes,
to help
I
you
will have
out?
Prairie Pelicans. Last year I was running 10 homes at a time.
Okay.
I was having approximately 200 volunteers at some points a week.
Wow.
Through Pastor's Army. Pastor's Army was loaded down. The church was loaded down with volunteers. We had another church that was loaded, and they were all there to work with me.
Do you
in these
need any
homes.
extra volunteers? Do you accept new
Oh,
volunteers?
yes.
Because if anyone that's watching, if you would like to participate and become a volunteer,
So parents, I know that they're gonna drive you crazy. Send them to Stacy.
Let
Send them to
them
Stacy.
build a little character.
These
You know.
kids have a blast out there, and I mean, they learn to appreciate exactly the damage that was caused. People think Houston is okay. They see the
Yeah.
outside, they see the
Yeah.
streets cleaned up. It's not okay.
No.
You know, go inside of these homes. One of the neighborhoods I'm working in right now, where Miss Miles is, Miss Miles' home is one that we're working on, but just a couple of doors down, there's another home that's 100% gutted, and the lady's waiting on us to get to her. You know, and then there's other homes that are boarded up in the neighborhood, waiting on somebody to come help
There are
them.
people that have not been home in 2 years.
Yeah.
I mean, if that sinks in for just a second, there are people that have not been home.
And
How
can you
long
imagine
does
the
that take?
dangers? Like
The
black
mold, it
mold
depends on
and
the
all that
material.
stuff.
When we have the material, we can get in there and knock these houses out so fast when we have the material. But we may have insulation one week and we get insulation up, and then we don't have nothing for a couple of weeks, and then we may come up with sheetrock. And then when we'll hang the sheetrock, and then we're waiting on cabinets. You know, we're taping and floating now, and I got lucky and got this donation from Tammy with the cabinets. So we're going straight into cabinet phase.
Wow.
So on this one home, but it's a process. You got to have the material to build. Without the material, you're at a standstill.
And if someone wants to donate money, they can reach out to you through
Yes,
the Facebook.
They can,
because-
or again, the Pasadena Home Depot or Lowe's. On my Facebook, I always list items of the home I'm in, what I need.
Okay, that's
And then I'll also list, I'll take pictures of them because I look for the cheapest stuff I can buy. I'll take pictures of it and screenshot it and put those on there on that account also. And then I put the store, Pasadena's, Lowe's, and Baytown, or Lowe's or Home Depot, and the information. And then they could call that store. They could pre-order it if they want. Give them my name. I could go up there and pick it up. I have no problems doing that.
good. That's awesome.
So, I mean, whatever it takes to get the items, I don't care. I'm all for it.
Wow. Miss Stacy, thank you so much for everything that you do. I mean,
You
I
do
know
so
that.
much.
Yeah.
It's 24/7, and that's exactly why our events. I mean, that's why we're at a golf course right now. I mean,
know
like,
everybody's
that's-
wondering why
yeah,
we're at a
like,
golf
why are we at a golf
course.
course? But I mean, that's why we throw these events. Is to help fund her, and help get these materials and help finish these homes. We're just doing it one house at a time. That's all you can do.
One day at a time.
One day at a house, one house at a time. You're absolutely right. That's all you can do at this point.
So why did you choose golf as your?
What idea was that?
What idea was that?
So I tell you, because we did the fashion show last year and it was awesome. But I want to be able to do, the thing is you can throw these charity events and you can do all the glitz and glam that you want, but you also want to make sure that you're reaching out to everyone. It's community involvement. We want the golfers involved.
Exactly.
We want the guys to come out here and grab a great time. We want the ladies to go enjoy come hills or high water. Guys come too, like we want, and we've also thought about other things. We've already in the talks about maybe trying to do a like a clay shoot, and
That would be
in the
fun.
early part of the year. We do a Christmas drive at the end of the year. We have events that and we just want to keep it continuously moving so that we're able to reach out and bring in everyone in the community. We're also doing a golf tournament because my husband plays golf.
The truth comes out.
And, yeah. So, and I really wanted to do something because, he's our CEO and he's really actually one of our biggest sponsors.
And you got to make it fun for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like we want to,
Make someone to come out here and participate.
exactly. Half these guys, they're coming out here on the 26th. They don't want to go sit at a fashion show,
Yeah.
but they want to go sit at a golf course and they want to eat crawfish and they want to drink some beers and raise some
That's
money.
all
And,
that.
you know what I mean?
I'm glad that you brought that up. What should people expect at the golf tournament next Friday? So.
Oh my God. Yeah, we're a little unconventional. So we've got boats in the water. That's not a lie.
Okay.
So matter of fact, look out for that chip and shot game when it starts. But we're bringing in crawfish. Todd Gaspar is bringing in and cooking crawfish for us. We've got a ton of awesome. We actually have Masters tickets up for auction right now.
Wow.
There you
And
go, guys.
whoever gets the Masters tickets for next year, that's on the end of the weekend, hotel, everything included.
Wow.
If you get the winning bid to those Masters tickets, we are giving you the free airfare.
Guys,
Wow.
that is incredible.
Yeah, Southwest Airlines actually donated the tickets to us, and we were giving those to the winner of the Masters
How
tickets.
That is
So it's
awesome.
literally an entire Masters tournament trip at the good days, not even like the just chill, walk up, take picture days. The good days of the Masters for completely.
For all you
completely.
big golfers that
Yeah.
like the game,
We've
I'd
got
appreciate that.
yes. Masters, and if you don't have the Masters, we even have Opens tickets too. So like we're yeah, we have a lot to offer. We've got trips to Puerto Vallarta, Los Cabos. We've got a ton of Astro stuff. Springer, Harden, like an Astro
Wow.
member. I think we've even got Alex Bregman's LSU jersey.
Really?
We actually got it for LSU
Oh.
signed.
Nice.
So we've got that in the auction. Like I said, we're bringing the crawfish in. The boats are coming in. We've got a ton of games. The sponsors are awesome. They're bringing a ton of stuff in. But we've also got, there's an after party. So actually attendance tickets. So if you don't play golf, you can actually come. The tickets are going for $50. The link is going up either today or tomorrow. The ticket's $50. That is for you to come, drink, be merry, eat, and just have fun hanging out with us at the golf course. That's a full day, and that gets you into the after party.
Okay.
There's an after party that starts at 7 o'clock. Those tickets from 7 to 10 o'clock will be $10 if you just want to come see the band. Radio Live, sponsored by Deepwater Solutions, is actually coming to play. And they're going to put a show on here from 7
That
to 10
is
p.m.
so cool. It sounds like it's going to be an incredible
Yes.
day.
And it's
of
going to be
fun.
awesome.
Oh, that
And
is
this one's
so.
bringing the mobile unit. You're not
Yes.
going to want to miss that. The Cajun
Yes.
Navy released new mobile units going to be here, and this will be the first time it's public since SAR Games.
Correct. I mean, we just got this thing set up.
Yeah.
It was an unbelievable opportunity. It was set up as a classroom to teach classes to people going into plants to do turnaround services. So I've got something that's completely wired and ready for dispatch stations.
exciting.
2 rows
It's
all the
so
way down.
awesome.
I think we had 20 people running dispatch.
It's gonna
in
make
it for
history.
sergeants.
This thing will be in
Yeah.
pictures all over. Like it's gonna make
It's-
history. You're
I'm sure
gonna want
it
to walk
is.
in.
I'm
Yeah,
sure.
it is 38 feet long. It's kind of hard to miss. And it's
Yeah.
bright yellow.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it's
We like
noticeable.
yellow.
Yeah.
That's at April 26th. That's April 26th at the Cinco Ranch Golf Club in Katy, Texas. Shotgun time is 12 p.m. and we still have like 11 team spots available.
Okay, I was gonna ask. I
Yeah.
said, okay, and how much is entry?
And so for a registration for a team, it's $500. That includes your entry, your golf carts. That includes your lunch, your dinner preferences if you want dinner or barbecue, and that includes your ticket to the after
Crawfish.
party.
Wow.
Crawfish. I know he's up there
Crawfish.
like just
I know. I was like,
crawfish.
I don't think I've ever seen crawfish on a golf course, so this is gonna
No,
be exciting.
yeah, it's a little, like I said, we're gonna do a few unconventional things, Sarah, but
But hey,
There's a
we're
Cajun
not
show on it.
complaining.
You
I
got
know.
it.
I
Yeah.
love it.
Complaining.
I love
have
it.
the CNR not have crawfish. Also, it's crawfish
Exactly.
season, and I want crawfish, so
Exactly.
it's like
Hey, no
literally-
complaints here.
I
No
literally
complaints.
eat crawfish every weekend.
I believe it.
I literally eat
Your
it.
crawfish sounds okay.
Oh,
with me.
I love my husband's Cajun. We go Lafayette like every other weekend. First thing I'm doing is tearing up some crawfish. I'm like, let's go to Randall's or let's go to the little shack down, or let's go somewhere. I just eat crawfish. So
Yeah.
we're gonna bring it here. And we do want to thank Todd Gaspar for that because he is donating his time and services to cook all of that
Wow.
crawfish, along with
Huge.
getting a lot of it donated. We want to thank the golf club at Cinco Ranch and Lisa, who is hiding over there in the corner, a pro golfer, but it's actually because of her. Her and I started chit-chatting after Come Hills or High Water last year, and that's the reason that we're actually doing it here. I can't believe that was already almost a year ago, but that's why we're actually doing it here at Cinco Ranch.
Well, I think you're doing amazing, and I know that everybody
It's gonna be a huge
appreciates everything
success.
that you do for the community, for the
Yeah.
victims, and just keep it up. I mean, you are a badass.
You
you are beautiful. You
No,
have
I'm
your
kidding.
crown.
No,
I
it's
mean,
true.
we
We
were
have a
sitting
total
here-
girl crush
yeah,
on you.
we were talking
Yes.
about like how amazing you are. Not only are you beautiful, smart, but you're
Oh,
driven,
goodness.
and you have this heart.
Compassionate.
So
I love this city. I tell you what, I came to this city, and let's just be honest with ourselves. I came to this city. I was damn near homeless, guys. Like I had gotten a really good career in Austin at the time. That was when the job market crashed,
Mhm.
and I was left without anything, as half of Austin was at that time. And I came here with literally the clothes on my back.
oh my God.
And this city just kind of embraced. I love Houston. I
One
am
thing about our
obsessed with it.
city.
I love it.
I love
Is you'll find
Houston.
your place. You will find somewhere to fit in this city. Someone will take you, and it is the smallest, biggest city I've
Oh
ever
my
lived
gosh,
in my
yes,
life
yes,
because
yes.
everyone knows everybody. And how in the
Everybody.
world 4 million people all know each other? I will
No
never
idea.
understand. But it's so true. You cannot go
Yeah.
anywhere.
I
here.
found rice and gravy the first time I found your friend.
I
I'm like,
know.
they got some Cajuns? Wait, hold up.
It's so
Caroline's
crazy, but whenever we
fantastic.
travel and we're flying back and we're like we're already in Houston, I was like, I feel so good to be home. I love to travel, but it's nothing like being here at
No,
home.
It's being in Houston.
It's like-
Houston is just, I know it is. People are prideful of the city because
Mhm.
you're able to take really ownership of the city because this city is molded from so many. It's molded by your
Exactly.
choices and your doings and what I've done and what she's done, what he's done, what he's saved, what he's, it's molded by all of
And
us
I
that make
think
it
as a
up.
whole, Texas is super proud because
Oh,
my
yes.
daughter, my daughter, she's in the military and she lives in Washington State. And her sergeant tells her, I don't know what it is with you Texas people. Y'all just
I've
so
heard that
proud.
all the
We
time.
Y'all walk
proud.
around like Texas is the best place to be. And she's like, actually, it
I mean,
is.
we
It
could
is.
be our own country.
Her handle on Instagram is Texas Tammy. Her name is not Tammy. It's Rachel, but that's like her little alter ego. She is so country. She has country as
I'll
they
tell
come.
you, we actually had that conversation the last time we were here actually, because he asked about the stars. There's stars on the wall. He's like, why do y'all do stars everywhere? And I was like,
Everywhere.
We
I said,
love
why do y'all do
Texas.
They all started- they started clapping.
I
Like,
said,
they-
yeah,
what
Look.
is that?
We love
stars that night, are big and bright.
We were
Super
super
proud. Texas. Like,
We don't have that in Lafayette. I'll tell you right now. It's not like that.
but I asked him, and he said, well, look, I said, why do y'all have fleur-de-lis everywhere in Louisiana? I said, because it's Louisiana pride.
Yeah.
Like I'm adopted Cajun. I can say that because I'm married to one, and literally 95% of my friends are from Lafayette and New Orleans. So I'm adopted Cajun at the most. But
Oh.
I love these guys. And
Well,
and
we love New Orleans. It's like
We
one of the
love- yeah.
best places to visit. We
Yeah.
go at least, we don't go as often as you, but we go at least 3, 4, 5 times a year. We just
Yeah.
love, sometimes we're like, hey, let's just go have some
It's a nice
beignets.
little-
We'll
yes.
drive over the weekend just to have
Yes.
beignets. Or hey, we want
You just
etouffee or
relax.
whatever. We just drive out there.
I
Whether
just
it's
relax
Lake Charles
there.
or New Orleans or
It's
I
low
love
country.
it.
That's
I
just
love
low
it.
country
Yeah.
living. It's low country. It's slow. It's laid back. And on, you know, we come here from
Beautiful.
Houston where everything's boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
We get over there and you're like,
Laid back.
Well, New Orleans
You know,
is
you
one
can
of the
breathe.
oldest cities
Mhm.
in America, isn't it? Wasn't it founded in 1779 or 17 something?
yeah.
Way back when, I know they just did a
And
tricycle.
Jean
Because I
Lafitte
know-
glass
For
in
when
the
they-
shop's
because I
still
know-
there.
Yes, I know, and it's crooked, but it's there.
Because
You look
I
at the walls,
believe
it's
that
like-
Prince Philip, like the
Okay,
14th
savvy with the history.
had bought it for his brother, which was the Duke of Orleans, and I think that's how they got the name. I don't quote me, guys, but I do love to.
I'm not, but that's like, you could just say that.
I'm gonna believe
No,
that.
because trust me, because Facebook will come for you. Like, excuse me,
You
but
were
it is not
wrong.
like that. They will come for us.
Don't come for me, guys. But it's been a while since I've read my history. But I think, according to my memory, that's kind of what it is.
But we all love New Orleans. We all
Yes.
love Louisiana. And I
Yes.
mean, I think
And the
No,
stars
and
are
it's
brighter
like what
in
Digna
Texas.
said. You guys are doing so many wonderful things here that people might not be aware of. You know, you do the Heels Come High Water.
Come Hills or High Water, yeah.
And then the Britmoore Rescue Cajun, they do more than that. It's more than just that. You guys are
Yes.
giving people their life back. You know,
That's why
because-
people don't hear from us. Like around hurricane season, especially if something's going
Uh-huh.
on, people think we go in MIA, and we do, because we are literally in our kitchens. I mean, when we were in Florence, when we were in North Carolina doing rescues for Florence, I remember I was in my kitchen. That's where I usually set up because we're all connected. And somebody, I don't know if it was you or Chris, but somebody came through and said, it's can't believe it's been a week and a half. And I'm like, guys, it's only been like 3 or 4 days. And they're like,
Mm-mm.
no, Jessica, we started this
Oh,
date. It's here. It's a week and a
wow.
half.
Yeah.
You get so caught up in the adrenaline and
that's
the
what
getting
I was
everything
gonna
done.
ask, because
Yeah, I
that
can
just like
imagine.
gets you
Yeah.
going. It's like a drug.
Yeah.
You're,
It is.
you're going 1,000 miles an hour on that
Yes.
adrenaline rush.
Managing
Yeah.
that is important, and it's a challenge because it's easy to get swept away in it.
Yeah.
But that's one of the things that we always try to look at, like what is the safest way to get this operation done,
Yeah.
and being cognizant of that.
Because you guys don't want to stop. Y'all want to keep going. Y'all don't want to get any
You tell
rest.
somebody that I'm sorry, I'm done for the day. You can just sit in the water.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
It doesn't work that way.
Yeah.
No.
There's, like you're gonna keep
You're
going.
gonna keep going.
And this is something that I see. Normally, I'm going to be doing things more administratively, or dealing with the tax goals or the public
Mhm.
information type side of things. But the boats are in the water. It's these guys. I'm like, guys, are you safe? Everything going well? Are you taking breaks? Because they'll just keep
You have to check on them.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Oh, yeah.
you have to stop them. Like we had a couple of us were like, I need you to get out of the water. I
Yeah.
need you to go to this person's home, because people will volunteer their homes for our volunteers
Yeah.
to stay in.
Mhm.
I need you to go to this address. They have food and beds waiting for you and showers. Go.
I stayed in my
Because-
truck for 10 days, and
Yeah,
at some point they're like,
somebody-
dude, go take a shower,
Go
please.
to-
Go.
It's not the swamp anymore.
No, it's like I'm just staying. I'm sleeping in my truck in the parking lot.
That
That
is
light
you,
truck's
buddy.
in there. And like,
Swamp anymore.
That is you, buddy.
You do
oh
though.
no,
You
it's
crash
real.
out.
It's real.
Yeah.
I used to be on the back of the trucks in the parking lots, and you would crash out on the boat for a little bit just to take a nap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you guys can hear the
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah.
Guys
Well,
and
I
gals.
feel like
that's
if
the
you,
truth.
I feel that you think that you might, if you blink, you might miss something.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
You do feel that way.
So I mean,
You do.
y'all have this need to help, to
Well, and it's the adrenaline too. It's hard to go to sleep and actually get rest when you're
Yeah,
that
because
like.
you're thinking.
Oh, you have to
about
turn off all
everything.
comms.
And that's hard.
It's very hard to turn off
Hard.
comms because you're checking up on your people.
Yeah.
You're watching where the little trackers are going,
Right.
and you're listening to what they're doing. But
Yeah.
it's very hard to separate yourself from that to allow yourself to unwind.
I can imagine, because I imagine your mind is going 1,000 miles a minute, and you're
Exactly.
thinking, we got to do this, got to check up on this person, we got to go here. So your mind doesn't turn off.
Well, then you've also got the administrative work that's going on behind it, because there's so many forms that are coming through, and you're dealing with EOCs or having to get
Mutual
MOUs
aid agreements
filed,
and
or
all-
like
yeah.
all this kind of stuff. Like there's people don't realize how much admin goes behind that. People don't realize the amount of administration that goes on yearly because of these organizations. You have people, my volunteers, people like Ashley Johnson and Brent Suggs, who's my IT, and Joan Gould's secretary, Annabella, all these guys. These people literally work 24/7 around the clock, 365 days a year for no pay to do this. And we're doing things like filing tax and exemptions, and we're setting up procedures, and we're making sure that our volunteers are taking the right, NIMS courses, and being certified and all this. That all has to be done to keep these organizations going.
Yeah.
And it's just a complete.
That's not the fun part.
No,
it's not glamorous at all.
Not the fun part.
But
No,
it is
but
necessary.
It's one of those things behind the scenes that whenever you have it done and you can walk up to a
Yes.
DOC and just slap a resume on their
Yes.
desk, and this is all we can.
Yes.
This is what we can offer.
Yeah.
And you just
Wow.
watch and be like, yes, please.
If you want to be viewed as legitimate, you have to act legitimate.
Exactly.
And so we have to.
Wow.
You got to really put it
I'm
down.
amazed, guys. I really am.
I want to read a quote that I saw from your video. And it says, "The government is going to do what they do, but we can still do what we do and make a huge difference."
Mhm.
I love that. I
Yeah.
love that. So
And that goes back to the situation with the pets earlier.
mhm.
They're
Yeah.
going to do what they can to save life
Mhm.
and property as their first focus. We also go out there and we're not trying to do 911 critical rescue, but at the same time, we're going out there to do whatever
Yeah.
falls between the cracks.
Mhm.
They do theirs, we do ours. and it works.
You guys, it's not just logical. It's not like, okay, we got to save this life. You guys are emotional. You're trying to think of everybody as a whole, not just the
Passion.
yeah.
You have to have passion to do this.
Mhm.
Not everybody's meant to go do what she does every day or go
Mhm.
do what he and I do every day. And that might not be their passion.
Well, it takes a special kind of person to do what all of y'all are doing, because not everybody can step up to the plate and take that responsibility.
A lot of people are capable of stepping up to the plate for a time. They're meant to come up and be those volunteers that
Mhm.
actually go and do the rescues and do all this stuff. But you truly have to wake yourself up every morning and be like, you know what? I'm thankful. I get to do this tomorrow.
Mhm.
I don't have to do this. I don't. I can go tomorrow and go to my team and go, you know what? We're just gonna shut it down because none of us have time for this.
Mhm.
Ain't nobody got time for that. You know what I mean? But I get to wake up in the morning and we get to go change lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gets to go make sure people go home. We get to go save. That is what we're meant to do as human beings.
Mhm.
You're meant to save each other. And
Mhm.
whether you're a Christian or it reads the whole way through. At the end of the day, human beings are meant to save each other. So whether you're pulling them in a boat or you're letting them go home, that's what we're meant to do.
And you know
Yeah.
what that all comes down to? I feel like it's love.
It absolutely is love.
Absolutely is
You gotta
love.
have a lot of love, a lot of compassion.
Absolutely. And the greatest of all these is love. Absolutely.
We have so. I mean, I just every time a new group comes in, like the groups that's here right now, this week and last week, that was from Washington, Seattle, Washington, and they're amazing. They're amazing.
Yeah.
And you grow a bond with them, and you grow a bond with the families. It's hard to stop.
It's
like a
addicting.
drug.
It is.
It is like
It is
a drug.
addicting.
It's so
Yeah.
hard to stop if you've got the right heart and compassion to be able to do this
Mhm.
and to be able to handle it, then once you get in it, it's hard to stop.
Yes. You think these big tough guys over here, you're dealing with these guys, they're like all these, cowboys out there and these big,
They're big
but you know
teddy
what? They
bears.
are. They're out there because
Big teddy bears.
I think I'm gonna throw you under the bus like that. I'm not
Thanks.
trying to but they are, those guys gotta have love to go out there and get in those boats and go do that. They gotta have a lot of emotion and a lot of passion in their heart to go do that. You're not just gonna throw any guy out there.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people will watch something and say, "Oh, I wish I could do something," or they feel bad, but they don't feel it enough to actually do something with that.
Right.
Yeah, it's that compulsion, that little pull that you feel, that tug that you feel to go help your neighbor. If we all took a minute to try and focus on that, just a little bit, just go out of your way a little bit to help somebody, the world would be a better place.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Just a little bit,
So we've heard what we needed from Stacy. What do we need? What does Britmoore Rescue
Yes.
need?
We need you to come play golf.
All right. Now,
We
if
need
they
you to come
can't-
play golf.
If they can't make it to the golf tournament, how can they help out?
So if you go onto our website, www.britmorerescue.com, you can actually click on our donation there. There's several things you can do on the website. There's a actual button that you can click for donation. You can either do a one-time donation or you can set it as a monthly. You can also volunteer. Our volunteer form is actually on our website as well. And of course, during a disaster, if anything ever ever remotely close to Harvey comes back toward Houston, Texas, or any of the southern 7 states, that's actually where you can go to request help if you are in need of rescue as well.
Wow.
So there's actually certain things you can go check out all of our events. You can go check out what's going on with Birdies for Boats, and you can go check out what we did for Come Hills or High Water last year. I'm going to leave that hanging there because I want to leave y'all curious about what's going to happen this year.
And what is the Cajun?
So for us, CajunNavyRelief.com. If you head there, you'll be able to find similar, places to register to join, place to request rescue or request help. Again, our focus is mostly search and rescue. The first 2 weeks, the first maybe 3 weeks, we'll get out there doing rescues, running supplies. We have a place to suggest or to offer supplies to donate. All of our events are listed. We just finished SAR games. The next major one is the golf tournament. Please sign up, golf tournament. Right? But they also have links there that show how you can get to our PayPal. We are a 501c3 nonprofit.
Yes.
It is tax deductible. So, just be aware that we do offer that transparency. And we do, if anybody has it on their heart to offer anything for us, we do appreciate. So, we're glad to be here. We're glad to be a part of it, honestly.
There you go. Well, guys,
Have fun for a good
Yes.
cause, guys.
Yes.
We need some good crawfish.
Yes. April 26th, 12 p.m. shotgun.
it's going to be
Cinco
a good
Ranch
time. It's
Golf
going to
Club
be a
in
good
Well,
time.
I think we're going to be here.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're going to be
Soda's
here.
going to be here. We're going to be doing a few
Yes.
lives.
Yeah, so ladies, let your gents go and play some golf.
Or
and
they can come too.
Yeah,
They can
and-
buy the tickets. They can come too and spend the whole day hanging out with the girls.
Yeah,
Exactly. We can have a
exactly.
few drinks.
Yes.
Watching them play.
And eat some
Yes.
crawfish, of
Eat some
course.
crawfish. We actually get to eat the crawfish before they
I
do
know.
that. So I'm just saying.
Strategic. I like that.
Yeah.
I don't hope.
So, do you have anything else to add
No.
before? Or do you guys have anything else to add before we sign off?
No, I just want to say that we're completely thankful for everybody out there that has actually been a part, especially with this golf tournament, and really just supporting us, all of us. I mean, we're just in our efforts to provide relief to these communities. So, thank you.
Thanks.
And thank you to everyone. I'm fully with her on what she just said.
Yeah.
There's so many people that are out there helping that deserve a big thanks.
And thank you to Cinco Ranch Golf
Thank you.
Club for
Yes,
allowing
the
this
golf
to
club is
happen.
Cinco
So,
Ranch. Thank you.
it's a
And
beautiful
Tubular
course.
Solutions
And
Incorporated, because they're our title sponsor for
Yes.
that. So
So if anybody wants any more information on what's Birdies for Boats, please reach out to us and also on their websites. If not,
we'll link all
yes,
the, yeah.
we're gonna link it that way. Okay, and before we go, we're gonna bring Lisa on just for a few seconds.
you can sit here.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi. Sorry, I know y'all were signing off, but your director was like, go say something, go say something.
We need you up here anyway. This is Lisa, and the reason we're even getting to do Birdies for Boats here.
I know, it's so funny because I met Jessica for the
Come Hills or High Water, yeah.
And she called me after the event, and she was like, hey, I'm thinking about putting together a golf tournament. Do you happen to know?
And I don't know what I'm doing.
Yeah, and I was like, funny that you say that because I know the perfect place. And it's so cool that they're doing it here because Cinco Ranch really was affected by Harvey, and everyone remembers these guys.
Wow.
Yeah. So I get chills every time I
I
mention
know.
that.
Well, and we're thankful too because they're allowing us to do certain things here that a lot of golf courses probably wouldn't let us do at their place. So they are letting us have a lot of.
Yeah. Well, we want to
Sorry
take
for that.
care
We
of y'all,
appreciate
and
that.
we're going to try to make it, or we are going to make it one of the best tournaments.
It sounds like it is.
Yes.
It sounds like it is. So everybody get your phones out, take as many pictures, and
Yes.
just tag
Yes, yes,
away.
yes.
So,
And also, we're going to have the drones flying around too. So they'll be
Yeah.
taking video as well. Evans
Yeah.
Wilson will be here actually taking videography and pictures, and a couple of Houston's photographers. I think Hong Chong and Kai Chan are trying to come as well. So there's going to be all types of photo ops and opportunities. So smile big.
there you go.
Check your teeth after you eat crawfish.
Well, guys, thank you so much for allowing us to be here. Thank you guys for coming out. I know that we all have busy schedules. I know you have a super busy schedule, so really appreciate it. And with that being said,
Well, it takes more than one person to make things work. So guys, if you need a volunteer, you want to volunteer, whether it's your time, your money, donate money, please reach out to Jessica, Shawn, or us. We'll direct you to where you need to
we'll,
go.
we'll link
Yes.
everything, and
Yes.
you guys can navigate. All of the websites
Yeah.
are really
Easy
user friendly.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
so I love that. And then we'll link up your information
Yes.
with your phone number, so that way they can search for you.
Yeah,
So
I don't know why.
I'm sorry. we'll put on there, no creepy people.
Just want to remind everybody, tomorrow we do have
We do have another
Mark
episode with Mark
Harvey.
Harvey with the Red
the
Production.
Red Production,
So
the introduction to the Red Production series.
he is makeup artist to the stars, and he is super fabulous. So
And
guys,
we're filming that at 3 p.m. tomorrow, guys. So
Hashtag
stay
Red
tuned.
Production.
yay! Well, all right, guys, thank you so much, and try to stay dry because the rain just came
Yes.
through.
Hello.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Aw,
Okay,
that
guys.
was
I
awesome.
don't mean to ruin,
I
but
know.
I got
Go. I know that you
I got
got